تفضل دكتور فيصل.
اولا انا بشكر جامعه ميريت. I'd like to thank Merit University and organizers, and especially in particular Dr. Professor Iman for my invitation. It's an honor to be among you guys in this very young, great university that I think that would be one of the best, probably, private university in Egypt, and in the long run. It's a very strong start to the university, and I would like to thank you all. And I would like the host just to open the share screen for me. Actually, I have a PowerPoint to share. You hear me? Yeah, if you open, yeah, all right. If you open the share screen, I would just display my
doctor. Click on share screen and you can share. We didn't close it.
The host disable screen sharing. Can you open the screen sharing, please?
Already opened, yeah, doctor.
It's not open on my
side. You can share, doctor. Click on the screen and you can share your
the screen, Professor.
So I can't share my screen, right?
Okay.
Yes, you can see a green button at the bottom
now
of the screen.
Now you can share, doctor?
Yes, I got it now. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now do you see the slide, everybody?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. That's great. So
10 minutes, Professor.
All right. So my talk actually is 5 minutes less now, but I'll try to do it very fast. It's all about the challenges that we have. We have in the last 2 decades we have 3 monsters of this coronavirus, but in the last 18 months we have one of the dangerous coronavirus. This is a novel coronavirus that we have it here, and I'm just going to go on the response and the global response to this pandemic and the challenges and the outcome. Probably the global challenges and response with the outcome. Just in very fast thing that we will go about the coronaviruses here. We have many coronaviruses. Do you hear me, everybody? Many of these coronavirus, which refer to the family of many RNA viruses, human coronaviruses are spilled from natural reservoir, which mostly the bats. Most of this human coronavirus cause infection in human that 40% of those coronavirus make this common cold with other viruses. But the remaining of coronavirus, the 3 major one that I talked about them about 2 decades, this included this SARS and the MERS and our COVID-19, which we are dealing with now. If you look at this slide, this is the mood of action. We have the 3 coronaviruses, SARS, MERS, and COVID-19 have probably the same mood of action, just to attack the human body and to injure, to have a cytotoxicity measure break cells, and injure the immune system. And the consequences, which a lot of you guys and will talk about it later, well, including the multi-organ dysfunction. The interesting thing, or all of these viruses are literally have the same kind of receptor. So once they slip into the cell, they start to mechanism or to make this kind of replication and go on into damaging the cell. The most important things which make them respiratory cells is just like we have a storm of reaction from this inflammatory molecules, interleukins and cytokines, which all of them would spill over and make this respiratory distress syndrome. The major thing that we have problem that would lead to emergency room for most of the time. The later dysfunction or multiple organ dysfunctions, that a lot of researchers actually have been talked about them. And it's multiple. It started with it's not the lung, it's the lung, kidney, neurons, and liver clotting, and we still understand how this monster COVID doing its problem in human being. So as I talk to you, the three of those coronaviruses have I'm sorry, I'm just trying to okay. Do you hear me, guys? I have some. Okay. I'll start with. Here we are. So the coronavirus, the SARS-CoV-1, the MERS, and the COVID, COVID-19 we have. In this table, you guys will see so much of differences based on the capability of the COVID-19 to transmit. So in many cases, they are more than 20 times as much as the SARS, the virus SARS. We have it, and if we look at the case fatality rate, we will recognize that the MERS probably had a lot of people got die. The case fatality rate means that how many of those people who end up in emergency or hospitalized will die possibly. So we will have coronavirus less, but it's very contagious. So it can reach out a lot of people. That's the problem. It can find its victim, find most of these old people who are, and people with underlying kind of medical conditions to infect them, and then they will suffer. And some of them, or 5% or less of those cases, will end up lost. So if you look at this case, a fatality rate, it's been changed actually from the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020 up to the early this month, June 1st. So they are stabilized a little bit. So if you look at the early case, we have problem here, and in the summer of last year ended up was very stabilized, probably to about less than 4% of the cases will end up dying. And if you look at the Egypt, I put Egypt. One of them is it's higher a little bit. It's more than 5% compared to other world. It doesn't mean that we are in a bad situation. It does mean it does reflect actually the report, the official report of how much the count are actually basically. And the other difference is the hygiene. Just like the medical service that everybody will go to the hospital, how much, or even not going to the hospital, how much of treatments he will get. So United States was in that situation, and then it's probably laid under the 2%, and this is different probably than the crude fatality rate, which means that how many of people dying per 1 million. If we count it this way, we will find that Egypt is way better, because we are about 1/3 of the America size of population. So America probably more than 25 times as much dying per million. Okay, so this is a point that I would like to talk about. The other thing here is the origin. What the origin of
time, Professor Faisal, time.
At the time, yeah, the time, yeah, you took 5 minutes actually from me from beginning. So I probably, yes, the origin is, we're talking about the origin, either the with this market or the most likely accidentally leak in the Wuhan Institute of Technology. The lady actually she is a very good lady, actual researcher. She has been studying, and in 2015, she told the world that we are playing in the genetic part of the viruses from bats to understand whether how much they would try to be potential of pandemic. So if you look at this paper published here in North Carolina, was a big team telling us that there's something going on. The world now is investigating. Everyone will know why we are here as scientists. It's not our problem. This is criminal, could be a criminal thing, but understanding why we could have this pandemic or future pandemics, it matters. We have to know. If somebody doing research, why he doing that, and what we end up here is a lot of loss economically. We lost a lot of people, and we lost a lot of time battling this monster. So the challenge, we go back to the original thing, that question about challenge, question about response. So it's the pandemic challenged the international and the national entities here, and it's testing actually how the politicians will work with the scientists, will listen to the scientists. They start actually to be in a chaos, but now are listening. They bought most, like 25 times as much budget actually have been bought by the politician to the scientists to do science, to look for treatment. And this is what they did. They looked for treatment, and we have a lot of treatment for the COVID now, including multiple vaccines. So the role of science and technology is now in the best position. Actually, we are talking, people are listening, and the prepared the way that the countries now around the world actually prepare themselves for pandemic is taken to action. It's not about a paper exercise. So we're talking about the pandemic wake-up call here. We have a very big wake-up call to the world. It's just to operate together. We're talking in this conference actually about the healthcare industry, how the way the healthcare industry is. Are we in a hospital actually away from what's going on in the public health? The public health is a different thing. It's about all the workers out there to educate people how to eat well, how to drink well, how to raise their immune system, how to be not to get into the hospital. However, the practice of medicine is in hospital. So things has been come together now. We have researcher, we have public health worker, we have practice in medicine comes all together. And the life science now has been with the medical science. There is no walls. All of us are communicating to each other and learning from each other. The good thing, the wake-up call of how we are prepared, and now we learned the lesson about the how we make the technology, the remote technology, actually, and how to use it. It's not no longer been like luxury. Is now we need to communicate like that. We have conferences online. We have e-medicine here in the United States. Now, people are pregnant women, actually. They can't go anymore. In the beginning, actually, they can go online and have appointment. Yes, I'm there.
تشوف الناس اللي دخلت.
All right. So yes, and that's all. I think I'm done for that. And you guys enjoy. I would enjoy talking to you. It's one more slide, but I'm just gonna pass that. Thank you.